All right, let's pull back the curtain on the hidden magic that powers literally every single video you watch online. We're going to talk about why your stream almost never, ever has to buffer. You know the feeling, right? You're on a train, the connection is spotty at best, but somehow your show just keeps playing. Then you get home to your amazing Wi-Fi, someone turns on the microwave, and bam! You're staring at that dreaded spinning circle. What is going on there?
Okay, so it might not be actual magic, but I'm telling you, it's one of the closest things we have to it in the world of tech.
It's called Adaptive Bitrate Streaming, ABR for short. And look, I am not exaggerating when I say this is the single most important piece of tech that makes Netflix, YouTube, all of it, even possible. It's the silent, unsung hero behind every binge watch you've ever done.
So how does this hero actually work? Well, the absolute best way to understand it is with a super simple analogy. Just think of ABR as your video's very own, very smart GPS.
I want you to picture your internet connection as a giant highway. You've got this massive, wide-open express lane for that beautiful, pristine 4K quality. Then you've got a solid middle lane for good old HD. And way over on the side, there's a slower lane, but it's reliable for when things get really congested. All of these lanes, they're all headed to the same place, your screen.
And that's exactly what ABR is. It's constantly looking at the traffic on your own personal internet highway. Is there a jam up ahead? No problem. ABR just seamlessly switches your video into a slower lane to keep things moving. Is the road totally clear? Whoosh! It bumps you right back into that 4K express lane. Its one and only job is to avoid the massive traffic jam we all call buffering. Okay, so we've got this incredible GPS. But, a GPS is totally useless if the roads haven't been built yet. And that's the key. This whole trick is prepared long before you even think about hitting play.
Yep, the magic is all in the prep work, and it's basically a 3-step recipe. First up, the bitrate ladder. Now, bitrate is just a fancy way of saying how much data is in each second of video. High bitrate, that's your crisp 4K, but it's a huge file. Low bitrate, tiny file, but it looks kind of like 240p. So what streaming services do is create a whole ladder of these versions. Step 2 is chunking. They take every single one of those versions and slice them up into these little bite-sized pieces, usually just a few seconds long. And finally, the manifest. This is the master file, like a table of contents, that lists every quality and the exact web address for every single chunk of the video.
Now, here's where it gets really, really cool, and maybe a little counterintuitive. You'd probably think there's some giant supercomputer at Netflix headquarters analyzing your connection in real time, but that's not it at all.
The server is actually, well, it's pretty dumb. Think of it like a warehouse. All it does is hold the menu in all those little video chunks. The real genius, the actual brain of this whole operation, is the video player right there on your phone, or your TV, or your laptop. Your device is the one calling the shots.
So how does your player use that brain power? It runs this constant, super fast little loop: check, order, play. First, it downloads that menu, the manifest file. Then it checks your internet speed and it thinks, okay, connection's amazing. Let's order the first chunk in glorious 4K. But while that's playing, it's already checking the speed for the next chunk. Whoa, someone just started a huge download. Speed dropped. No worries, I'll order the next chunk in 1080p just to be safe. And this cycle just repeats, over and over, every couple of seconds for the entire time you're watching.
In this constant, lightning-fast cycle of checking and switching, it really reveals the fundamental philosophy of ABR. It is all built around one single incredibly important trade-off.
What you experience as just smooth playback is actually this insane high-speed negotiation happening in real time, a constant back and forth between your device and the network. And here is the golden rule of that negotiation. This quote from the source material absolutely nails it. The system is always, without exception, programmed to prioritize a continuous play experience over a perfect quality experience. And that's just a brilliant assumption, isn't it? The system knows what you really, truly hate is that buffering wheel. It's betting that a momentary drop in sharpness is a tiny price to pay to keep the story going. So when you see that happen, that's not a glitch. That's the system working perfectly. That's the system winning.
So let's just nail this down. If you don't remember anything else, remember these 4 things. 1. ABR is your video's intelligent GPS. 2. Every video you stream is a whole ladder of different qualities, all sliced up into little chunks. 3. Your own player, your phone, your TV, is the brain making all the decisions. And 4. The golden rule, It will always prioritize playing over being perfect.
So with all this in your head, the next time you're watching something and the image gets just a little bit fuzzy for a second before snapping right back into that perfect focus, don't get annoyed.
Be impressed. Seriously, because what you just saw wasn't a glitch. You just witnessed a tiny technological miracle. A complex, high-speed negotiation between your device and a global network, all designed with one simple goal in mind: to make sure the show goes on.